sometimes in partnerships, in family businesses, one member wants to sell.
Mhm.
How do you go about with that conflict when only one person wants to sell? I mean, it's not always a buyout. It's not, and how do you know, right? So I'm just going to throw it out there. Dr. Jean, you
Oh,
know
no,
this.
I'm going to throw this to Marilyn and to
Okay.
first. I'll take the psychology stuff at the end, but let's do the,
Okay.
because the reality is this is a really big challenge for lots of people. Yes, right? Yes. So
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to throw it to Ken. I mean, Ken probably got a story about this. I'm throwing it to Ken first.
These things can really be bad, right? Back to my story about we always tell bad stories. If I have two partners or three partners who aren't all on the same page, and that happens a lot, it can either be, okay, we're going to continue the business. We're not super happy about this. Or, what I would tell people, I'm going through this right now in a case that I'm involved in. I have one party who doesn't want to sell the business. We have to come up with a way to buy them out, right? Whether that's going to be with existing funds, I know they don't like it, but if we have to borrow some money to pay them off, and there are different ways corporate wise that we can do that without actually putting up all the money up front. I was involved with a case many years ago. We had two owners who did not want to sell. We restructured the company, recapitalized it. We essentially issued them debt instruments. So they got their money. They got their money paid out over time. And I can tell you this, once we were able to extricate those two owners, the business took off because so much energy, effort, mental impairments are involved when I have to deal with those kinds of things. And it can get nasty or it can be okay. But either way, if everybody's not on the same page, that's going to be a difficult situation for you.
Mhm. Yeah, I will also say that it really depends on the shares of the company. Like I worked with a company where it was two sisters, 50-50, and one of the sisters wanted to leave and the other sister, one sister wanted the other sister to leave and the other sister wasn't leaving. And they had 50-50 and they ended up in court. And that's really not a good place to end up. So the fact is that everything's going to sunset sometime. You can do it disruptively or you can do it graciously. And there's tons of ways to buy out a partner, as Ken just said, to sell the business. So if one person wants out, then that's the conversation that the two partners need to have. And what does that look like? Because it's really then the selling of between the two partners. But don't ever, if you're the partner who wants to get out, don't ever stop, because like I had another client, brother and sister, knock on the door. Sister wanted to sell the company. Brother didn't want to. The sister finally said, wow, what will my brother do if she literally says to me, what will my brother do if we sell the company? We better not sell. And guess what happened? They were thundering. Then they went blundering. Then when they went to, going undering and they had to rebuild the business back up. So the fact is that we care about people. It's disruptive. It's messy. It sucks. But having that communication is really important with your partners to pre-need, like, what are we going to do if you want to sell someday and I don't? What are you going to do when the knock comes on the door? Let's have those conversations now before they ever happen. And let's document what we're going to do so that when it does, we can go back and say, oh, remember we talked about this? This is what we agreed to. Oh, that just doesn't happen.